Yo, I'm Elijah Ellibert, and welcome to the 25th Factor Beyond the Game. We have a fun episode lined up for you today with a very special guest. We're here at the barbershop to pick up Dr. Travis Barber. He is a former Georgia Southern football player. He recently won the Ambassador of Georgia Award, and he is the founder of the nonprofit organization One More Question.
Hey, everything good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Didn't have no shoes, man, out here in the field. It was so much bigger when I was younger, but that tree right there raised me. This big monster. Corey Robinson. And of course, all the drugs were sold right here. All the dope boys right here catching their sales.
That's my safe space. Football is everything to me. When I get on that field, I'm not this privileged kid that goes to Woodward Academy. So what are some things that changed for you after high school?
I got to Georgia Southern, it was no longer football. It was a business. Because now I got to go watch film. High school, I'm just going off instinct. So they don't want that at the next level. That was the pivotal relationship in my life that altered my destiny. I knew all the big time players throughout the city from the dog fight. But this is where I came to with my drug to finish exploiting and tearing down my people. Not realizing the effect that it had on my family members, my partners' mothers and fathers, and just the whole community. Them 6 bricks turned me into that savage. I lost myself. And God showed me that land in that prison cell, just how far removed I was from my true self. I'm throwing money, buying bottles. Of course they want some. And they did what they know to do. They're gonna try to take it.
Right.
Shot in the chest, shot in the foot. I know the relief that I give to that young man that's on trial in court. I get to prison, I meet guys, they never drove a car. I met guys that come straight out of high school and get into a police car. And when they meet me, and I don't live everything that they're reading about, every day they got one more question for me about something. I ain't gonna say haters, but a little bit of confusion because people don't understand my growth. I'm no longer Trapp. They got a problem with calling me Dr. Barber. We're in Fairburn, Georgia, aka Lightning. Hey, man, Will, how you doing, baby?
I'm good, baby. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm finna bring some more snacks. I'm finna put them in the cooler. You need anything else, you let me know.
Lord have mercy, baby. Bless your heart. Bless your heart.
You know, sir, you know I got
Lord
you.
have mercy. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You need anything else, you let me know. She worked in the cafeteria, one of my grandmother's best friends. I think she up in her 80s now, lost a lot of mobility, but I make it my business to check on her every week, call to make sure she got what she needs. And this is what it's about for me. My grandmother's gone, my grandfather's gone, but I treat the elderly just like I do the youth, man. I'm responsible for them just like they were responsible for us. This is what I want to show Nephew in the podcast, like no matter where you at in life, man, you always got to reach down inside yourself and think about others, and God got you. So for me, praying for God to let me out to come back home to take care of my community, which I once exploited, now I'm back. I'm rebuilding it, reestablishing it. Even though we didn't have sidewalks, we stayed in the street. It cost me 20 years of my life. I'm gonna go drop this off. Welcome to Lightning, Fairburn, Georgia.
Barber, Georgia. Just tell me a little bit about this land.
This is the land where I grew up at playing throw 'em up, bust 'em up. Didn't have no shoes, man, out here in the field. It was so much bigger when I was younger, but that tree right there raised me. I had 20 dogs back here, man, believe it or not, I had a whole kennel. Yeah, this is my grandmother's property. This is where I'm from, right here, this dirt. Yes, sir. Home sweet home, man.
So you lived here with your grandma?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
We lived here with my grandmother. I stayed with my mother at night. When she got out of work, we stayed in Fairburn Pine Apartments. Got over there when I was in 12th grade. But this is where everything went down at. This is where I became Trapp. This is where my alter ego developed.
Your alter ego.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about that. Who is your alter ego?
It really was a savage. I had to take on the mindset of survival and to never be bullied, because we grew up poor. And we run into the kids at Fireside, in the community out there, at school, you weren't gonna talk about us because we ain't had nothing.
Right.
And so we became the bullies of the community just so we can protect our egos, our feelings. And I took it with me through our life, and it saved my life, especially in prison.
You use that on the football field as well?
Absolutely, my football. And I realized that my whole career I was angry at the hand that I was dealt. Knowing that my mother had to be at work and my daddy wasn't there, Wasn't no way in the hell a kid with a parent in the stadium gonna block me.
Right.
Ain't no way in the hell your dad or your mama finna see you stop me. And from there, man, I turned into like a Lawrence Taylor.
Okay. Yes, sir. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The next spot where I'm finna take you to is where I couldn't go. Even though we from the hood, my mother and my grandmother, they didn't want me hanging on the block, on the corner. That's why all the shooting, the drug selling, all that went down in the masses. And if I go to the store, I can't stop.
Right.
So I'm finna take you to the playground.
Okay.
Well, this is where all the dope boys hung out at, the Jays, the hot girls. So when I got older, I became one of them.
Okay.
So let's go check it out.
Yes, sir.
Cora Robinson. She lived right here, didn't play no games. She was going to City Hall council meetings back in the early 80s. We didn't know what it was, but they named the park after her. And just like her, I want to be honored too, but I want to be honored where I can see it. She set the page for us.
Now, just tell us a little bit more of the significance of that park, the things that went on around here.
This is where we supposed to come play it, but all the dope boys took over the basketball court. So we had to get here early or get here late so we can get us the game in. And of course, all the drugs were sold right here. It would be lined up, two lines of cars coming and going from each end. All the dope boys right here catching their sales. So this is where it went down, and some of my grandmother didn't want me to come up this way.
Okay. Okay, so when you eventually started coming up this way, is that how you started getting into selling drugs too?
Now, when I started selling drugs, after I dropped out of college and I came back home. Yeah, so I didn't drink. I ain't never no drugs or nothing.
Not
throughout my
till
whole
college.
year.
Okay, not till college.
Not till college. I dropped my first beer in college.
Okay. Okay, yes, sir.
What's happening, young man? Y'all good?
All right, so on the topic of high school, so what was your high school experience like? You were going to Creekside.
I got kicked out of 8th grade.
Kicked out of 8th grade?
I went to Campbell. So when I was coming up, you go from elementary to high school.
Okay.
8th grade to 12th grade was high school then. My 8th grade year, I got kicked out of Campbell.
Oh, wow. Okay, so why'd you get kicked out?
I was having sex at school.
Oh.
Yeah, man, I'm being it all. I was a real hard head.
Man, my parents would have killed me if I get caught having sex at school, man.
Well, I ain't get caught having sex. They told on me, but
who told on you?
the girl went back to school, went back to class, and they were talking about it. The teacher overheard them.
Oh,
so from there, I got implemented. But I got my ass whooped for a week straight with a drop card.
Ooh, I'm already knowing.
Yeah, my grandmother beat me to death, man. I got to Creekside the next year. I got to go to Creekside, was formed then. 9th grade year was the first year it opened. And I got to Creekside, and I had to sit out my 9th grade year because my grades went up to par. And for me, at that point, when the head coach came to me and told me, son, what are you gonna do with your life? You just gonna piss it away, huh? And he looked at me and he walked off. Mind you, my dad went in my life. And for a man to challenge me, to speak to me in that manner, as if I was literally nothing, he sparked a flame in me, man. And that's when I started going to class and getting people to do my work.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just telling you the truth.
Right.
So for me at that age, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win.
Right.
And so when I got my grades together, I got on that field, man, and I went ham.
I'm already knowing. Okay, so where did that spark for football come from?
Oh, I've been playing football since Little League. And I just got distracted when I got to high school, seeing a new group of women. Girls, I'm addicted to women, beautiful women. And when I got to high school, and I'm in the school with some 12th graders, so it's like, I'm about to lose my mind.
Right.
And I played JV 8th grade year. I did do that. I got kicked out after that. And then I got on track for like 2 years. Then I bounced back.
Okay. So, did you have any like role models when it came to football or even in
Lawrence
general?
Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor.
5'6", that's on my wall.
Okay. Okay, so tell me a little bit why he inspired you so much.
Because when he got on that field, when you see that man play, it was like, you can see the slop coming out his mouth. Like a crazed dog is what he described himself as. And little did I know the man was on cocaine.
Poof.
Wired up. And my cocaine was get my mama and my grandmama and my aunties and uncles out of this poverty. And I know if I didn't do it, it wasn't gonna get done.
Right.
And so when I put on that helmet, I was no longer poor. I was no longer fatherless. I put on a helmet, I was Superman. And I couldn't be stopped.
I love that. Yes, sir. That's what I want to feel when I get on that field. That's what I do feel when I get on that field, because that's my safe space. Football is everything to me. When I get on that field, I'm not this privileged kid that goes to Woodward Academy. No, that's not me. I like to play with a little chip on my shoulder, coach. When I'm on that field, ain't nothing that nobody can tell me. And like, oh my, I just get so fired up when I'm talking about football, man. But yeah, that I can really relate to what you're saying, that alter ego.
Yeah.
But we just came from your barbershop. Just tell me a little bit about what that meant to you, what that barbershop meant to you.
It was, Mr. Carr was my granddaddy's barber. Then when I got old enough, I started going to JB. And for me, that was the place where I would go and get to hear grown folks talk without saying, get your ass out of our face. Don't look in grown folks' mouth. Hey, where you supposed to be at? My grandmama didn't play that.
Right.
But in the barbershop, you can sit around grown men and listen. And for me, that's where I got a lot of my game from, a lot of information and knowledge. Pretty much all of it, we didn't go nowhere else. And for me, going in there was everything. And me becoming a barber, I knew the impact that I had on the men, the boys that got in my chair. So going back to the barbershop, that's pretty much every single kid's stepdad or uncle.
Okay. So what is like the most memorable thing you remember from that barbershop, or even just hearing it in that barbershop?
Their fashion. See, all of my homeboy, they dressed with the Jordans, starter jackets, 8-ball jackets. They dope boy fresh. They swagged up with the Jordan jeans, with the Pumas.
Right.
Go to the barbershop, they got on the Durango boots, the slacks, the button downs. They polished, a whole different style. And I was attracted to both.
Okay. All right, cause yeah, I can see it in your outfit right now. So I like that, yes sir. Okay. So we've talked about your high school life. So what are some things that changed for you after high school?
After high school was when life got real. I got to Georgia Southern. It was no longer football. It was a business. It was a class. It was no longer fun. Cause now I gotta go watch film, study formations, the X's and O's.
Right.
High school, I'm just going off instinct. I can smell that pig. Bottom line. So they don't want that at the next level. You gotta know everything going on. And so for me, like, man, I just want to blitz. And me and the coach got into it about that. He wanted to change my stance up and everything. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and let it go before I kick your ass. Not knowing that that was the pivotal relationship in my life that altered my destiny, if that makes sense. Because if I would have stuck that out, listened, conformed, became what they wanted me to be, I have a degree, a regular home, a regular wife, a regular lifestyle. By me being so, hey man, stubborn-headed, I don't want to play no more. So I quit, and I come back and join a semi-pro league, and they let me do my thing. 3 championships. The 3rd year, I'm out of shape, get a concussion. I'm on the sideline, I woke up asleep, man. Like, damn, Trapp, you went off, boy. I'm like, I don't remember the game. I'm out of it. So that night it's like, boy, you either get in shape or get out the way. I finished that season, I got out the way.
Wow. Okay. So after that season, how did things start to shift for you after that?
I was already dibbling in the dope game.
Okay.
And one of my partners I went to school with hit me up and said, boy, you know anything about some cocaine? I'm like, yeah. I really didn't, but I said, yeah. He came through, 6 bricks. It was on from there.
So those 6 bricks, so where did you end up selling those?
But cocaine sell itself.
Mm-hmm.
I knew all the big time players throughout the city from the dog fight. So when I called them up, took them a sample, all of them wanted to buy all of them. But you know, all my partners and my family members all sold drugs. So I brought everybody some grams, a couple ounces. And from after that, when them 6 went in, they went so fast, I called my man like, I'm through. But this is where I came to with my drug to finish exploiting and tearing down my people. Not realizing the effect that it had on my family members, my partners' mothers and fathers, and just the whole community. Them 6 bricks turned me into that savage. That when I lost myself.
You lost yourself.
My mother called me one day at my new house. I answered the phone, hey, Travis. I hung up on my mama, man. And I called her from my flip phone. Hey, can you say my name? She like, what? Yeah, you can't say my name on the phone, mama. Hey, what's that? And God showed me that land in that prison cell, just how far removed I was from my true self.
Wow. Man, you told your mom she can't call your name on the phone?
Yeah.
All right, this is getting deep. I think we should really finish this up at the next location.
Cool.
Perfect. Okay, so we were at the park, we drove around the neighborhood, and I know this place hasn't always looked like this. It's looking a lot newer, a lot more gentrified, so how do you feel about that?
I feel good about it for the people that are here, but it saddens my heart that my people didn't get to experience it.
Right.
Central heat and air, grass, sidewalk. But then again, that hard concrete what made us what we are today, to be resilient. And I'm glad to see the change. Like everything gonna change. That's inevitable. But I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
Okay, yes sir. We're out here in front of the South Fulton Police Station. Just talk about a little bit why this place is so significant to you.
The city of South Fulton stamped my life by giving me a proclamation. The Dr. Travis Emory Barber Senior Holiday, my grandkids, kids.
Free, baby. You can do it right? You know that?
And don't even cut that. That's the real and raw. The streets, excuse my language, they F with me. And they are so proud to see one of us come out of prison and make something out of life with no apologies. For me, rocking with the city of South Florida, it's everything. I made them my partners. They donated $5,000 for me to take 200 boys fishing. They gave me my own holiday in their city. They gave me a voice in my community. That's what so many people don't have. They just have complaints. Through me, they got a voice. I brought you here to show the people of your era that you got to join the powerhouse. This is like going to Alabama. This is like going to Georgia. This is Georgia Tech. I got their jerseys on, and they got mine on.
Right.
And I get to be me.
Yes, sir. Okay, so you was charged with murder.
I was charged with murder and aggravated assault.
So tell me a little bit about the circumstances that kind of led up to that.
Balling around some haters. You got money, you go into the poverty areas. It's inevitable. I'm throwing money, buying bottles. Of course they want some. And they did what they know to do. Gonna try to take it.
Right.
Shot in the chest, shot in the foot. Dude got shot in the back and he didn't make it.
All right. So when you went to prison, when you first got into the prison system, like kind of what was going through your head at the time?
Suicide. God, please don't wake me up another day in this place, man. Like, okay, cool. I don't extended all my favors. I don't ran out of lives and blessings. They only kill me. Because I can't do it myself, because I don't know how.
Right.
Like you ever wanted to quit and couldn't?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I look at my pictures of my sons and I know they were still depending on me.
Mm-hmm. So, I know you were a big mentor in that prison system for a lot of men in that prison system. Did you have one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name was Oscar Knowlton from Macon, Georgia. He was probably on year 26.
Mm-hmm.
He did 33 years total.
Okay, what was he in for?
Murder, armed robbery, carjacking. He was just vicious all through Macon. And it's funny because the people that he terrorized ain't the man that I know. He became like my uncle, my father figure. And he gave me the game. He taught me the ropes.
Okay. So what was one lesson that really stuck out to you from Oscar?
The less you know, the less you involved. He told me, don't let them niggas tell you shit, Travis. That ain't got nothing to do with you.
Okay.
The biggest thing that I never forget with him, I had called home. My boys answered the phone. Where your mom at? She got company, Daddy. Company? What? Yeah, okay, all right, cool. I ain't want to pressure my boys. But we got on the phone, like, this shit hurt. So I go to his room and tell him what's going on. Like, I need some coaching, some counsel, but it's knots in my stomach. He said, hey, man, them your tears. That woman got a life to live and you do too. And it ain't out there. Now close my damn door. I thank God for that advice, man. Don't nobody care about your tears. I'll never forget that. That woman got a life to live.
Yes,
and I
sir.
do too.
Yes, sir. So, while you were in prison, what was the main thing that kept you going in there?
My children.
Your children, yeah.
I had became a deadbeat dad, an absent dad. That was my biggest fear in life, being a failure in any area.
So how do you feel from going to defendant in the courtroom to advocate for other men in the courtroom?
Amazing, powerful. I know that the relief that I give to that young man that's on trial in court, as well as to his family, knowing that they know that I'm for them. That's what I needed when I was going through. That's what my mother needed. So for me to be the man that I needed, is everything to me. And that's why I just thank God for the ambassador, the doctorate degree, and my voice being heard.
Okay. So we've talked about your prison life. Now we're gonna go back to your elementary school where it all started.
Let's go, MP word, let's go.
Let's go. Okay. So we're here at Campbell Elementary. Here I just want to talk about your one more question. You're a nonprofit. So when you came out of prison, how did you decide to get into mentoring?
Well, first of all, this is Campbell now.
Right.
It used to be MP Word when I was here.
Okay.
It was K through 8th grade. And Landmark Christian Academy was Campbell.
Ah.
So they bought the building. This is Campbell now.
Okay.
So Campbell closed. Landmark was Campbell, and Campbell went to Creekside.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
so yeah, they're old school. But for me, like this ground, this is where new building, but this was a safe place. This is where we was gonna get to eat that pizza, and it was just fun for me in school. Here, the teachers was amazing, even though they was all white. It was something about elementary, man, and I got away with murder here too. Not literally, but I was spoiled. The whole school loved me as a kid.
Right. Okay. So you talk about your experience here, how you love school. So is that what made you get into mentoring after prison?
Mentoring, me being fatherless got me into mentoring. And prison was my battleground, where I was tested, where I was trained, where I was skilled to be able to mentor a real killer, a real robber, a real whatever you want to call it, dangerous. Having them type of brothers look up to me was really phenomenal.
Yes, sir.
For them guys to be inside of a place like that and looking for love, looking for a family. And that's what we became. And 22 years later, I'm still in contact with a lot of them.
That's amazing. So can you give me one person that you feel like you really, really helped?
My little nephew, I call him nephew, Alan Moore.
Okay.
He's on his 22nd year now. He's still incarcerated on murder charge. He's from Old National. He's still going, and for him to see my page, my work. Matter of fact, he just blessed me with 2 dozen chocolate covered roses. He said, hey man, I just want to give you your flowers while you're alive, brother. I thank you for everything you did for me and what you're doing now with your story, with your line of work. I can't wait to get out and to join you. And he's still in prison, man, and still following me. We still connected. I got so many like that, easy. Little brother, Muslim cat, got to Hayes, one of the worst prisons in Georgia. He in there running the dorm. He running the yard. Hey man, come here, man. Sit your ass down. Quit all that fighting. Get some money. Man, you the first cat come up to me, man, talk to me with some sense. I appreciate that. And me and him locked in, man. He got out of prison in 2019, the day I got my proclamation in the city of South Fulton. He on my page, he's speaking to. He just told the people that when he met me, he was a hard head, lost, fighting every day. And I changed his life when I told him, sit his ass down, chill out. Because I knew what he was going, angry, lonely.
Right.
And his daddy wasn't in his life either. But I became that for him. I filled that void. And we locked in to this day.
See, with my father, I know that's never gonna be a problem. Personally, he is my rock. He's the person that I look up to see that you can be what my dad is for me, for other people. That's amazing to hear. That's amazing to see. So, on the topic of one more question, how did you come up with that name?
Going into prison, 2 houses, Mercedes, hot rods, tow trucks, barbershops, jewelry, trips, wife, gators, Coogee sweaters, polos. I had it all. I get to prison, I meet guys that ain't never slept with a woman. I meet guys that ain't never drove a car. I met guys that come straight out of high school and get into a police car. And when they meet me, and I don't live everything that they reading about, every day they got one more question for me about something. And so when I get out of prison, 10 camps, riots, got on the fire department, fashion merchandising degree, educated on the law, done survived it, and come home and meet cats like you ain't never stepped in a police car, more or less, a county jail or a prison cell, or been on a school bus, shackled down, riding through the country, middle of the night, don't know where you going, what slave plantation you finna hit. They always had one more question about prison. So when I was going over all my things with Tashana, who put all my first media kits together, what you gonna name? What you gonna name it? And we tried to get on the phone for about an hour. She kept saying, I got one more question for you. I got one more question. And one more question, that's what I'm gonna name it.
I like
And that's what it came out to be. And here it is today, global.
Okay, yes sir. So on the topic of that, what's the most frequently asked question that people have asked you?
How many fights I got into in prison?
How many fights did you get into in prison?
2.
Two. You remember how they started?
Yeah, they was in my business.
Oh, okay.
So you didn't read my book, but every camp I go to, I'm gonna get me a guard. See, if you get your guard, that's how you get your contraband in. So everywhere I go, I'm gonna get me a guard. I had a gift of gab at the time, but I didn't know it was my anointing, my gift of speaking, encouraging, and manipulating, whether it be negative or positive. So, and when you get that kind of favor in prison, you still got your haters and your snitches. So they writing kites on me, and I found out when they told on me and held my business.
Okay, so once you get older, once you feel like you've done everything that you can do, what impact and how do you want people to see you, and what do you want people to think of you when you finish?
Man, if I finish today, I'm gonna go down in history in my state, my city, as one of the greatest men that ever walked the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I've fed over 10,000 kids. With the help of my community, I've put shoes on over 5,000 feet. I've fed an entire community of seniors downtown. I've taken probably 10 pallets of water to the elderly in different tornado places. I've taken over 1,000 boys fishing in 4 years. I'm in 13 schools with a program that gets accreditation from the Board of Education. I've been in the courtroom and walked 3 kids out of a charge to my program. I am the Goodwill Ambassador of Georgia as a felon. I got an honorary doctorate degree on parole. My book is on Amazon. My documentary is on Amazon Prime and Tubi. I am the poster child for prison reform. I'm on the Grady Equity Board for Health Inclusion in Black communities. I'm on the GCHAP board for prisoners to get their education while they're serving time. I'm not out here playing. And for me, for my boys, my sons, to wake up every day and see their daddy that they counted out standing on top of the state capitol. It's 450,000 convicted felons with the right to vote. And I make world news telling them folks, you gonna cast my ballot. Excuse my passion, but the world gonna remember me when I'm dead and gone, nephew, because I know that my people perish for a lack of knowledge. They care more about LeBron James than the policies of the United States of America. They don't know who their city council is. They don't know who their mayor is. They don't know who their district council is. They don't know shit but LeBron James stats. When I go in these homeless shelters, when I walk in these schools, they call me Dr. Barber. When I go in the courtroom, the judge call me Dr. Barber. I'm a living legend, man, off of my deeds and my heart. And not because of the drugs I'm selling, how many bad women I got, but because of my sacrifice and my selfless commitment to little black boys to see a man like your dad. And I didn't have this kind of influence and power when I had the dope money. Now I got the dope relationships where I don't need no money, I just tell them what I want. Right. Grady, the clerk of court, Lachey Alexander, Judge Donaway, Julie Hanna, Riley Blunt, AT&T, Vice President for Community Affairs. You name it, man. Ain't no black man doing what I'm doing, man, for free. And I'm just so grateful that God gave me the opportunity to show my sons my true self.
Yes, sir. That's powerful. That's deep. I love to hear that. You were talking about the Goodwill Ambassador of Georgia. You recently won that.
Yeah.
So, well, what did that mean to you when you won that?
When I seen the Senate name on that award, it touched me because it's the same Senate that I'm finna put a request in to get a pardon, to get my background dropped. And to see that he's already acknowledged my lifestyle, I don't even need my record expunged because my character expunged my record. And for them to say that I can speak for Georgia as an advocate for the policies that I believe in, that I know our people suffer from, I thank God. God, I thank God that I put that gun down, sitting in my 1972 Chevelle, in my brand new $300,000 house in 2001 when I was gonna commit suicide. When my lawyer said they got a warrant for your arrest for murder, Travis, I was gonna pull the trigger. I thank God for stopping me.
Yes, sir. Here we back at your old elementary school. I don't know how big school was for you, but can you just talk about why we, like us as young men, should stay in school and should have that focus in school?
Man, school, knowledge is power.
Right.
Knowledge is the fountain of youth. Without it, you might as well consider yourself disabled or handicapped, especially if you got that digital divide. School is most important to go there and obtain the information and the physics of everything that they offer as far as the studies. In prison, I realized that I didn't know nothing. I went back to school in prison. I'm fighting for education for prisoners now. So when they come out, they'll be more attractive to corporations, employers, as well as their own entrepreneurship, to have the mindset of business, the fundamentals of finances to keep them wherever it is that they're trying to go.
Okay.
And your group, your age bracket, y'all getting the fast money, but y'all ain't getting the lessons or hardships that come with it. Kids 18, 19 right now in high school with $1 million. When you break your leg and you can no longer play and you run, that million gonna run out. Where you go from there? Other than depression and suicide and drugs. That's why it's key to build character before you build up them finances. And what you have in your dad in your life, you're an elite group. You're blessed. Private school, Woodward Academy, that's cool, fine and dandy. But you gotta come back in society with me. Public school, dropout. And no one is better, but some people just more knowledgeable.
Right.
That's the person gonna get the job. So please stay focused on them books, man. And for you all, there's some beautiful young ladies in this world. When I was growing up, wasn't no social media. I like to see what the women that live next door. But y'all get to go all around the world, and y'all gotta stay focused and know that, man, the women gonna be there forever. Get your education, get your mind right, and get your focus, because if you don't build your own dream, you're gonna be helping me build mine. I don't care how good you are, it's always an athlete better, and it's always a woman prettier. Lock in and stay focused, and you got the perfect family structure where you get to see black love, and you get to see black affection, you get to see black success, you get to see everything that we dreaming of.
Right.
And I don't want you to take that lightly or for granted, and what you don't, because I can tell by the way your manners are and the way you speak, the way you conduct and carry yourself. And for you to even be thinking about a podcast, to bring on an old head, to drop some jewels, is letting me know that you're ahead of the game already.
Yes, sir.
Because I run a kid like you, your age, they on Right Street. He facing a life sentence. He just got caught with a gun in school. Oh, it's on I gotta build you up, but to come to me when you're standing 10 toes down, that's a blessing, man. That's a blessing. So
Yes, sir.
I want y'all to just know that, man, education is the key. And character gonna keep you where money can't even get you into.
Right.
Because I'm sitting down with the mayors, the judges, the DAs, the principals, the head coaches. Everybody want advice from Dr. Barber, because you know what? I got lived experiences.
Yes, sir. So on the topic of education, you went back to school in prison, and you earned your doctorate. So just tell me a little bit about that feeling when you earned that.
No, I earned a bachelor's in
bachelor's in
fashion merchandise.
Yes, sir.
And I came out, I got my own clothing line.
Right.
I know the ins and outs of it. But how did I just came out here and start a clothing line, I'd be kind of lost. I'd just be out the trunk. Now everything online. And my people are mad about my growth because they can't pull up on me and get it out my hand no more. I'm in 13 schools,
Right.
4 courtrooms. I'm going on excursions with different companies because I'm an advocate for formerly incarcerated people. I can't serve you no more. That website does that.
Right.
And that's another thing. Growth brings about, I ain't gonna say haters, but a little bit of confusion because people don't understand my growth. I'm no longer Trapp, if that makes sense. They got a problem with calling me Dr. Barber until they got an issue that only Dr. Barber can serve or fix. So keep growing. Understand that everybody can't go. and know that your gift is your blessing. And don't let nobody make you feel bad about it.
Okay. So I got one more question before we go. For anybody, for any kid that was in your situation just like you, what is one thing that you would tell them?
Going through a murder trial?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Be careful who you call friends. Be careful with who you call friends. And be careful the lifestyle you choose. Because what makes you a man is not what you say yes to, but what you say no to. If I would have told no, I ain't going, I'm gonna stay home with my 1-month-old baby and my sons and my wife, I wouldn't be here in front of this camera, but I wouldn't have lost everything the way I did.
Right. Wow, guys, this is really what my show, the 25th Factor, is all about. I was extremely blessed to talk to Dr. Barber today because he was an athlete just like me, a great athlete just like me. And he really showed me the scope and reality of what can happen when I'm not locked in, whether it's with school, football, just anything that can keep me out of situations where I shouldn't be. I also think Dr. Barber is one of the realest people I've ever met. Even throughout the interview, he was talking to kids, interacting with the community. And that's not really something I've really seen out of anybody. Again, this is why I made the show. This is why I call it Beyond the Game. It's because you can't really get experiences like this from athletes right now. You would have to take it up with people that's already lived and already experienced things that me as a kid hasn't really experienced. So I hope you guys have really learned something. I hope you guys have taken away everything that I've taken away. I'm Elijah Elibert. This is the 25th Factor, because numbers aren't everything.